episode of Poll Pulse, the only show on national TV, the only accurate gauge of the nation's mood. Last week, we polled voters of UP, Bihar, New Delhi, Gujarat and Maharashtra. Today, we are focusing on the impact of Narendra Modi contesting from India's most electorally significant state of Uttar Pradesh. The announcement threatens to undo the poll projections significantly as Modi's gambit could alter the electoral landscape of Uttar Pradesh, pushing the BJP's tally past its highest tally of 57 in 1998. Let's ask the voters if they think the BJP has become more attractive to them now that Modi is contesting from Uttar Pradesh, or if they think that the decision will lead to polarization of Muslim and Hindu votes. But let me first get in Dhananjay Joshi, a psephologist, to talk about methodology of this poll and why it could potentially be the most accurate barometer of public opinion. Dhananjay.
Well, Rahul, we did this poll starting today morning till today, so we know the latest public opinion. We polled 510 people using a computer-assisted survey instrument, and these were telephonic interviews which were done across Uttar Pradesh. The sample profile is pretty representative, though we have a certain kind of a urban bias in the sample, but overall our demographics are quite accurate, and that is why we can be very sure that this survey is representing the public opinion of Uttar Pradesh.
Wonderful to know, wonderful to know. Let me quickly go across to Atar Khan. Big questions await us. Has Narendra Modi done the right thing by contesting from Uttar Pradesh and not his home state of Gujarat? Atar, what do the people say?
Well, the first question we asked them is Narendra Modi did the right thing by contesting from Uttar Pradesh. An overwhelming majority says 73.2% says yes, they agree with the fact that Narendra Modi contesting from UP is the right thing to do. 21% disagree and 6% say that they cannot say anything on that. The first question, overwhelming majority, Rahul, on the side of Narendra Modi.
Absolutely. Let's look at the second question. Should BJP's veteran leader, this is more a comment, Atar, on the style of functioning of Narendra Modi, should individuals, veteran leaders like M.M. Joshi, Kalraj Mishra, etc. have been asked to vacate their seat for his picks, and including, of course, Narendra Modi. Atar, what do the people say?
Well, the answer is really clear. The BJP leaders, local leaders were miffed. 43% disagree. Should Joshi have been asked to make way for Modi? They say no, he shouldn't have been. 40% say yes. Can't say is at 17%. So the upper hand really to those BJP workers and leaders who think that local leaders perhaps should not have been pushed out of their seats.
Lots of fence sitters there. What will the impact be on Uttar Pradesh, Atar? What are the people saying? If after Modi is contesting UP, do they expect the BJP to become a more attractive proposition, Atar?
68.5% Rahul feels that way. They agree 69% in fact on that plasma. BJP will be more attracted to 69% of the voters. We polled 21% disagree with that and 10% are still fence sitters on that particular one.
Okay, I'm going to come back to Atar in just a few moments. So we're going to go through the demographics also in more detail, break down at least question 2 and 3. Demographically as also region-wise, because that could be interesting. Let me first introduce our panel. Joining us, Jainram Vyas, National Spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Abdul Qadir Chaudhary, Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, with us this evening. Sudhendra Bhadoria, leader of the BSP. Professor Madhav Nalapat, as always, Consulting Editor, NewsX, with us in our studios. Priya Sehgal, Senior Executive Editor of NewsX, and Dhananjay Joshi, a psephologist with Cicero, also here with us. Let me first begin with you, Mr. Vyas. Let's focus on question 2. Should BJP's veteran leaders like M.M. Joshi have been asked by the BJP to vacate their seats for Mr. Modi? It's an absolute divided result. 40% say yes, 43% say no. There's a significant 16.7 that are sitting on the fence. For a few moments, let's forget them. For a few moments, let's forget them and let's focus on the no's and this split verdict. All along, people have been saying, Mr. Vyas, that the real test of Narendra Modi is not really his winnability. Everyone knows that chances are if he contests from Varanasi, he's going to sweep. There might even be a spillover effect for the Bharatiya Janata Party. The point is, can he carry his party along? Is he good with people? Is he a team player? The jury's out on that one, Mr. Vyas.
Well, Rahul, I'm not surprised on these poll results that you have got with you, because they come too soon after the event, and when any popular leader, against the popular belief that he will be contesting from a particular seat, he is, for whatever is the wisdom of the parliamentary board, asked to contest from some other seat, this kind of a reaction is but natural and obvious.
No,
so
but it's
when
going
the
on
dust
across
settles
the board.
down, ultimately, I am
But what
confident
about the
the
Modi
things will
way?
fall
Why
in
is
their
Modi
place.
wanting to dislodge a popular leader? You just said that yourself. So why does Modi want to dislodge a popular leader when he can pick any seat? I mean, after all, aren't we going through
No,
that
it is
so-called
not.
Modi wave?
I mean, it will be uncharitable to say that Modi has dislodged X, Y, or Z.
Then
This
who
is
has
a
dislodged poor
strategy
Mr. Joshi?
that is thought proper by the think tank, and it is a strategy part of which Mr. Joshi is asked to contest at a particular location with on a particular seat, and Mr. Modi contests from Varanasi. So it is the decision taken by our Central Parliamentary Board, and it might have several considerations. And I don't think that it will be prudent to doubt their wisdom and their knowledge about the ground conditions in the Uttar Pradesh.
But
So
is
that
safe
decision
seat
is
one of the
taken, and
considerations,
coming
that
too
you
soon
need a safe
after
seat
that,
for Modi?
this kind of a result is not a surprise.
What Mr. Vyas is trying to say, this is not an affliction that is only
See, all the
suffered by the
six-
Bharatiya Janata Party. Any party that is built around the image of one particular leader, like the BSP or the Samajwadi Party, will have the same problem, Dhananjay. I mean, that's a fundamental fact. These rulers, you know, these chieftains rule their party with an iron hand, but a party with a difference, qualitatively different, has a cadre-based organization, professor, would expect things to be more consensual. But here, and there have been protests all across today. You mean, you've been watching the news as we've been broadcasting it all through the day, all across Uttar Pradesh, in Chandigarh, in several other pockets,
Lucknow?
even in Delhi. Absolutely, in Lucknow, you've had a lot of protest.
Well, actually, I'd like to say, quite frankly, that, you know, Mr. Modi has taken charge very recently, in a sense, of as one of the top people in the BJP. And I think it's going to take one or two elections before he kind of puts in a different kind of model. Today's model of the BJP is, in fact, very similar to the Congress model. 2 or 3 top leaders, in the Congress party even less. In the BJP, 4 or 5 top leaders frankly decide among each other who are the candidates who should be selected, and they select people whom they believe will either win or who are their favorites. We have seen it happen partly in Uttar Pradesh, in Bihar, in Delhi and other locations. And where these favorites, quite frankly, are not popular with the rank and file and the cadre, this kind of protest is taking place. I wouldn't blame Narendra Modi for it, because I strongly believe that Narendra Modi has not yet got the kind of control of the BJP that the media is ascribing to him.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, there's another
Dhananjay?
point to it, and
Yes.
which is that there is a conventional setup in which the BJP has operated over the years. People like M.M. Joshi, people like the Shiv Sena, allies like the Shiv Sena were crucial to that growth. And now this new model of electioneering, which might be very winnable, is challenging those old set norms. And that is why this unrest at the ground level is quite obvious.
This is a model where personalities are dominating, which is not
Which
there.
is
The
not the
BJP has
BJP,
never had
which is
that.
not
It's
the
not the
BJP
BJP
model.
way.
Yeah, let me get in Mr. Bhadoria. Mr. Bhadoria, personality dominating the Bharatiya Janata Party. This was a characteristic of parties such as yours, the BSP, where one person, you know, the party is built around the image of that one person. There's a cult built around that one personality. In your case, of course, it's Mayawati ji. But fundamentally, the BJP that called itself a party with differences seems to have lost its way on at least that particular plank.
Well, certain issues have arisen out of the debate that has been generated, and let me answer each one of them. First and foremost is that you have said that Behan Mayawati ji, as far as she is concerned, she is of course representing an ideology which was certainly pushed forward in this country by Baba Bhimrao Ambedkar, and it has a history starting from him coming after Manevar Kashiram, and she is certainly the unquestioned leader representing that ethos, that politics, which is the politics of social change. insofar as Mr. Modi is concerned, he represents a different cult altogether. That is the cult of fascism, which we have seen in Europe, which he will eventually bring in this country as well. And insofar as Gujarat is concerned, we have seen him in 2002. And that is why these people were the people who raised this slogan, Babri hui hamari hai.
No, you know, I'm not asking that question.
That means they want to make Uttar
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that because we polled that question. We polled that question. I'll go to Atar in just a few moments because we polled that question. I'm asking about the ability of certain strong leaders to carry their flock along. And, you know, whether it's Mayawati or it's Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav, there's a lot of arbitrariness in parties such as yours. So here at least you cannot stand in isolation.
You have seen in history, Mr. Rahul Shivshankar, you have seen in history, Adolf Hitler carrying people along, Mr. Mussolini carrying people. What does it mean? Do you mean that these people are the people that are really needed for a country like India?
How is Mayawati different from Modi? Both are in a way running one dictatorship. Both have the final cult of
I think he's making a distinction. What he's saying is, what kind of people is he carrying along? Is it acolytes?
Why Mayawati is different? Mayawati is different.
Yes. Yes.
Mayawati is different because she represents in Banaras, there is a tradition of Buddha to Sant Kabir Das. She is standing by that very tradition, whereas these people have been rejected by that tradition, and Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar himself came out strongly against the nationalism propagated by Guru Golwalkar, which is the nationalism of
Mr. Vyas.
Mr. Modi, which
Mr.
he is
Vyas,
going to bring into this country.
it's the type of people that are being carried along. Anyone who swims against the tide is ejected. Many people say that that's what's happened in Gujarat. Anyone swimming against the tide is ejected entirely. So if you don't work cohesively behind the party, if you don't walk the thin line that is laid down by the leadership, then there's a problem.
Well, Rahul, these are some sweeping statements to which I don't subscribe, and I have reason to do that. That is not really the issue, and if that was the issue, Mr. Narendra Modi would not have been the serving chief minister for the longest time in the state of Gujarat. That is not the issue. Issue is, you know, whatever you are seeing today is the basic principle of management, that any change, when a new person comes in, when a new plan is implemented, it is resisted. That is the basic management trait. And the skirmishes or some kind of squabbles that we are talking about are natural. You know, a party where today, which is seen as a party which will be going to capture Delhi, you know, there are people who are wanting to queue up for the kind of opportunities that will be available. It's a market situation where there is a product which is highly sellable. So I think there is no surprise. On the other hand, where you find the things which are different, people are returning tickets in Congress. Chidambaram is not willing to fight election. Manish Tiwari is not willing to fight election. And Anthony is not willing to fight the election. This is the situation which is well now settled on the ground. And
okay, let me bring in the Samajwadi Party also, and as well as Kartikya Sharma, who's with us. Let me quickly go across to Abdul Qadir Chaudhry. Abdul Qadir Chaudhry, you know, there has been two narratives about Mr. Modi contesting from Uttar Pradesh. One is that he's an outsider. Why is he contesting from Uttar Pradesh? Secondly, Mr. Chaudhry, the second narrative is that there is a whole school of thought that believes that he's finding a safe seat. Why does he need only Mr. M.M. Joshi's seat? Why couldn't he contest, for instance, as you were saying a few days back, from Azamgarh or from any other seat if he believes that he has the credentials? There are two schools of thought. I mean, don't forget that even the Samajwadi Party chief is seeking 2 seats.
See, the reasons are totally different. Why, if at all, Netaji contests from Azamgarh and his old seat, you know, and Mr. Narendra Modi is contesting from Varanasi? There are two different reasons. Without going into the details of that, let me tell you, my dear friend, that Mr. Modi's selecting Varanasi is really, I would say that, you know, when destruction waits you, the wisdom goes bust. It busts like a balloon. And that is what is happening to the strategists of the BJP by selecting the Varanasi seat for Narendra Modi. And I hope he fights from one seat only. Because when he is defeated, it will be like in the olden days, when you read history, the commander-in-chief carrying the flag of the army, when he was injured or killed, you know, by the opposite army, the entire army will lose heart and run away, or turn away and run away, you know. This is what is going to happen to the BJP as Mr. Narendra Modi.
Is he saying Varanasi is a tough seat for Modi or an easy seat for Modi? I haven't got the argument.
Yeah, but what's the arithmetic?
I am trying to tell you. Last time, please don't interrupt, you know. Last time I told you, my friend, Mr. Manohar Joshi, the beloved leader there, won by a slender margin, I would say, of 17,500 votes. There are not only BJP lovers there. There are
so then that means Modi is doing taking a tough fight. That means that's more credit for Modi. Is that what you're saying? I haven't got your argument.
So, Rahul, yeah, that's right.
No, my dear. Their wisdom is gone bust, you know. They made a mistake by selecting that, you know. And
remember, fall flat on his face.
Samajwadi Party.
So it's not a safe seat, which is to his credit, isn't it, Professor? If it's not a safe seat, then it's...
Don't make a mockery of it. You ask one question. No, it's not a credit. It's not a credit.
No, what are you trying to say?
They've got wrong, you know.
He's saying that neither safe nor unsafe.
Again, I have said it. I am saying...
That's even better.
Well, Rahul,
that's even better that he's...
I want to make a point.
Yes,
quite frankly.
Yes, Professor.
No, I want to make a point.
Please come in.
No, please, just 1 minute.
They are going to lose this battle.
Okay, that's a different question.
Mr. Modi himself.
That's a different question. I'm going to come to that with Mr. Vyas in just a few moments. But Professor,
you know, I want to make a point. Rahul,
1 minute, 1 minute.
2-3 sentences, Rahul. I've got something very important to say.
Make it very quickly.
Something very important to say, please.
Make it very quickly.
Let me repeat what I said yesterday or day before. Very quickly, my friend. Now, the BJP's and Mr. Narendra Modi is joining hand with Raj Thackeray in Mumbai, Maharashtra, is going to spell death for them in UP, Bihar and all the other states of the country, because it is Raj Thackeray here who hates outsiders, who hates Indians. He says only Maharashtrians in Mumbai and Maharashtra. What the hell is that? No. Anti-constitutional, and Mr. Modi is encouraging it.
Very far.
Now you're completely off tangent. Please make a more germane point. Okay, 1 minute. Yes, sir. Professor. Yes, Professor.
I want to point out two things. One is, Raj Thackeray declared his support for Mr. Modi.
Yes.
Mr. Modi has not declared his support for Raj Thackeray.
Yes.
But the bigger point is, we all have Indian passports. I presume that my friend in Samajwadi Party also has an Indian passport. As an Indian, you are entitled to fight from any part of this country. Whatever religion,
yes, of course,
language, caste you belong to, you can fight from any part of the country. Okay. So this whole concept of outsiders, he's speaking like Raj Thackeray.
Rahul,
no, quite frankly, this is the language of Raj Thackeray. I've heard this in Mumbai, and now I'm hearing it in Lucknow.
Okay, 1 minute.
What does he mean by saying I have an Indian passport?
He's asking you.
Cut him short.
He's asking you a presumptive question.
What does he mean by saying that I have?
He's asking you a presumptive question, Mr. Chaudhary.
How can you call an Indian citizen an outsider?
How can you call an Indian citizen?
Such a dirty language they're using, you know.
But this is the same Modi who goes to Uttarakhand and says this plane is only for Gujarati. So Modi also plays regionalism. So in that sense.
1 second, Mr. Bhaduria, you wanted to make a point.
That is what they're trained at. Religion and regionalism, that is what they're doing, you know. And they're going to fail in that miserably.
Yes. Mr. Bhaduria.
You see, the Samajwadi parties, Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav contesting from Azamgarh and he contesting from Varanasi, they are adjacent constituencies. Both are the different sides of the same coin. One is responsible for Muzaffarnagar and over 100 riots. The other about Godhra, and both want to...
Oh, so it's about polarizing.
So sad. You're wrong, totally wrong, you know.
And polarize
only thing, Mr. Bhaduria, you go on repeating that. Mr. Bhaduria, I would like to stop you. You go on repeating that all the time you come on the show, please, you know.
Oh,
you are totally mistaken. 100 riots, 150.
Yes, of course, I will repeat it.
What the hell is that,
because you have done it. There are over... You can ask the whole country.
You're wrong.
let me, Priya, put some context to this.
You were defeated last time.
Put some context to this.
No, clearly,
What is the insinuation? What is the context here? Please.
I think I'll have to quote Digvijay Singh when he said that accused the BJP and the SP for match fixing in Muzaffarnagar. All our people who've gone to the places, we just had a reporter coming back saying the votes have been polarized. Yes, Muzaffarnagar riots has polarized, and the Samajwadi Party is equally to blame. Why is Mulayam Singh rushing to a Muslim guard? Why is he going to Azamgarh? Just to prove a point.
For whom? Polarization for whom, ma'am?
For you, the
On
Muslim
both sides,
votes.
it's a
Hindu votes for the BJP and Muslim. Why did the Samajwadi Party allow the Yatra Yatra in the first place?
If for anybody not for Mulayam Singh, if for anybody not for Samajwadi Party,
No, why don't you stand?
Samajwadi Party.
So you
Why
won't get
doesn't
the
he stand
Muslim
from
votes.
Muzaffarnagar?
Anybody has benefited is the BJP.
No, why doesn't he stand from Muzaffarnagar, Mr. Qadir
What are
Chaudhary?
you talking about? Muzaffarnagar has damaged
Why not-
us.
why not
We have tried to
Muzaffarnagar?
control
Or
the right to
Banaras?
be controlled in 2 days.
Why
time,
not
you know.
Muzaffarnagar? Why not Banaras? Yes,
2002.
why not
Rahul,
Banaras?
2002 in the chief ministership of Narendra Modi.
The optics are wrong here. The optics are wrong. There is something very troubling about the optics, and we in fact put that question. You know, gentlemen and ladies, 1 minute. We put that question in fact to the voters of Uttar Pradesh. Will Modi's decision to contest from UP create a Hindu-Muslim polarization? Is that really what is going on? Is that why a senior leader like M.M. Joshi, a short leader who has done well in that constituency, is being moved aside? Is there a larger game plan? Let me bring in Attar on this one. Attar.
Very little to choose from here. Again, Rahul, if you look at this, they say 42% of the people we spoke to say yes, there will be polarization. 48 disagree, say they say there will be no polarization. 10% on the fence. Very little to choose from yes and no there, Rahul.
Absolutely. And let me just look at Purvanchal. Let's look at Purvanchal here. Purvanchal, by region, if we break this up, 52.9% people say in Purvanchal. Dhananjay, what does this signify? What does this mean?
Well, both Azamgarh and Banaras are in Purvanchal.
Yes.
So that's the first point. And
So they are wise. So the Purvanchalis know what the game is about.
well, they've seen it for years.
Yeah.
In fact, if you look at the whole of Uttar Pradesh, even
Yes.
if you look at the Doab region, there people are saying that polarization will be less because Doab is the area where the SP is very, very strong.
Yes.
And the BJP isn't as strong as the SP. So these are regional patterns. Purvanchal has seen a BJP dominance. You have Adityanath in Gorakhpur. You have Narendra Modi contesting from Banaras. Of course there's going to be polarization, and the voters of Purvanchal well know it.
Interesting, because you know, if you go further down and you look at the other castes, the Muslims believe, yes, 46.1% of the Muslims agree there is going to be polarization. The scheduled, the OBCs also believe, almost 50% of OBC votes believe that there's going to be polarization. For a few moments, tell us the internal thinking here. What's going on?
No, Modi has been playing the OBC card also, which is why this whole wooing of Ram Vilas Paswan. He is trying to get into whichever vote bank he can. This is
But Varanasi sends out a message, doesn't it, Priya? What
on
message
a
does it
lighter
send
note,
out?
Rahul, Varanasi, Kashi is also where you go to wash off your sins.
Well, okay, but 1 second. Jokes aside, the message that is going out by contesting that particular seat, Mr. Vyas, is an important one to focus on because it emphasizes identity. It emphasizes the kind of politics which differentiates from development, which is or has been Mr. Modi's central message right up till this point. Now it seems he's leveraging identity once again. Why is he so confused? Is he nervous?
Rahul, let me in the first instance say that is it for the first time that somebody is contesting from 2 seats? Lalu Prasad Yadav did it in past from Chhapra and
Nitish
Madhepura.
Kumar has done it, Sonia has done
Sonia
it.
Gandhi
You know,
and
there are
Indira
n number.
Gandhi
I'm not
similarly
talking
did it
about
from
that.
Medak and Raebareli.
Yes, they've done it in the past. We're not talking about that.
These are the matters of greater strategy, and I think trying to see any particular message out
No, but
of
what
it,
is the
I think
strategy?
Yeah, that's the question. What is
That
the
is the
strategy?
question.
That
What
could
is
be
the
your imagination,
strategy?
That could be imagination of anybody.
And why Banaras?
But what is the strategic advantage?
What is this? No, 1 minute, Mr. Vyas, 1 minute.
What I was trying to tell you was different.
No, what is the strategy? What is the strategy? Explain to our viewers what the strategy is. Why only Varanasi with such vehemence in the face of a protracted, almost the point of public rebellion by Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi? Why?
Well, I wish that such strategies were available for public discussion in case of any battle that you are fighting. These are the matters of strategy which are not available for public discussion.
No, let me ask.
It could be
No,
discussed
it's not fair enough.
post-event
Let
and
me
not
ask,
before that.
let me ask
That's
an
number one.
insider.
Number two,
Mr. Bhadoria.
Number two, Rahul, I am trying to say, you know, Rahul, permit me to complete my argument. Whatever as a little I have studied as a student of market research, this is too straight a question. If you ask the question like this, obvious answer is going to be yes or no. This is a direct question. You could have asked several questions that what Mr. Modi is going to Varanasi would have resulted into. Number A, it would have enthused the cadre. B, and one of the options could have been polarization. Then I am willing to believe these results. This is too straight a question. This is a leading question. You can't rely upon the results.
Sir, the next question,
Well,
the first question is that, the first question which you missed out, now that Modi is contesting from UP in Varanasi, will the BJP become a more attractive option? We've asked that question.
Well, this is part of a battery of questions.
This is part of a battery of questions, and we've decided to narrow focus because from all the insiders we've been speaking to in your party, so you're being very coy. Many others in your position have not been coy. They wanted Mr. Modi to fight from Varanasi because they want a certain type of consolidation to happen if the BJP is to do as well as it did in 1998. It's as simple as that. We've asked the people and the people believe, yes, there will be a Hindu-Muslim polarization. Am I wrong to assume that, Mr. Bhadoria? Are the people of Uttar Pradesh in this particular area wrong to assume that? We've asked all of UP. We haven't just asked the people of Varanasi.
Right.
I think you've got it wrong because Atal Bihari Vajpayee was a leader who was acceptable to all. As far as Modi is concerned, you have seen in Banaras itself there were posters, Kashi hai Modi ki and Kashi hai Joshi ki. You have seen what has happened in Lucknow, Mr. Tandon coming out openly, and then of course there is a pressure from the RSS. Similarly in other states like in Chandigarh you have seen it today, you saw it earlier in Haryana,
yes.
You saw Sushma Swaraj coming out against what happened in Karnataka when they brought in leaders.
But same thing is happening in other parties also. Within the Congress, Manish Tiwari wanted Chandigarh, Pawan Bansal got it. This happens in every party. At least there is no open public report. Joshi is happily contesting from Kanpur.
It will have... Oh, I am not saying that. But what I am saying is, insofar as BJP is concerned, it is vertically divided. It will have a bearing in the elections, and you will see it in the outcome when the final results come out.
No, you know, forgive me from intervening.
My dear friend, you will be going into a wrong direction.
Okay, one second. Let's just look at our last question, which is perhaps the most revealing and could explain why the BSP under Mayawati, why the Samajwadi Party under Mulayam Singh are in a twist with Mr. Modi opting for Uttar Pradesh. Atar, we asked people, what would be the Modi effect on individuals such as Mulayam and Mayawati? Will they be dwarfed as leaders, etc.? What do the people say?
The SP and the BSP are not going to like this answer, Rahul. An overwhelming majority, 65% in fact, agreed that by Modi decided to come to UP, Mayawati and leaders like Mulayam will be dwarfed. 29% disagreed, 6% said they cannot say.
Are you running scared? Is Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav deciding that his only hope now, Mr. Chaudhary, is to consolidate the Muslim vote, and therefore he stands from Azamgarh suddenly out of the blue? He decides today, I am going to contest from Azamgarh. Are you so scared now of losing the battle?
Are you, Rahul, are you trying to say that all these predictions from media, all these opinion polls and the surveys, I respect them, but do you think they're all true? History has not shown. Shall we forget what history says about these opinion polls?
But isn't the national election...
Do you think they're all true as if 100%?
Please respond. Respond.
Well,
yeah,
nobody is saying that History has proved that polls are
No, I'm not
bang
finished,
on.
you know. No,
But if you look at...
don't bring
No,
anybody
but
else.
this is
I haven't yet
public
finished, please,
opinion.
you know.
No, this is public opinion. So when it doesn't support you, don't start saying that polls are not credible. There were data points which were supporting you. You were fine with polls. So that's unfair. That's all I'm saying.
Do you want the gentlemen, in that case, you want the people of the country to believe that Mr. Narendra Modi has already become the Prime Minister of the country?
Nobody wants that.
You're talking about waves and
Nobody
all
is saying that.
of Narendra Modi. I tell you, he's going to bite dust. No, the entire
but answer
media,
the question.
everybody,
Forget that.
all the opinion polls.
Forget
say
that.
you know.
Why is Mr. Qadir...
He's going to bite dust in Varanasi here itself.
Okay, Mr. Qadir, why don't you respond to the question I asked you?
Yes, please.
The question that we also asked the people of Uttar Pradesh. And you know, this is cutting across some regions also. Let me also bring in the other data. Because
no. Give me
it's
the time,
revealing.
I'll answer the question.
Yeah, answer it. Why are you running
I'll
away?
answer the question, please.
In Awadh, in Bundelkhand,
I'll
Lower
answer the question, please.
Doab,
See,
Purvanchal,
yes.
Rohilkhand, Upper Doab, above 60% of the voter believes that Narendra Modi's entry in Uttar Pradesh is catastrophic for Mayawati and Mulayam Singh Yadav.
See, that's what your survey says. Now, let me tell you, my friend, you know, the BJP, when they sent Amit Shah as the chief election campaign in UP about 3-4 months back, I remember very well, instead of talking about progress and development, the much hyped Gujarat development, he spoke about building the Ram Mandir there, at the place of Babri Masjid. If you remember, I'm not telling a lie, you know.
But
so
that is
there
not
only
in
the intentions of
BJP manifesto
BJP
now.
were open, you know. And then what they tried, I'm answering the question. Please let me answer, you know. I have to make a background before I answer your question, you know. So that all culminated eventually in Muzaffarnagar riots, which were all the creation and now were done by the BJP to polarize the votes. And it seems they succeeded there. They caught everybody unaware, you know. So you see, but now to do away with the effect which BJP has got, the success they got by polarizing the votes there, unfortunately,
what about
if Netaji is contesting from
what about the
Azamgarh,
105?
What
about the 100 and other 5 major incidents of communal violence before and after Muzaffarnagar, sir?
Netaji.
No. Wait a minute.
See,
you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Muzaffarnagar. Did we not?
There have been 105
That's very
other
wrong, my friend,
incidents.
you know. What did Samajwadi Party do wrong in that? We controlled the riots in 2 days' time. We helped the victims.
105.
2 days we controlled the riots, you know. I mean, that was great, you know.
Let me bring in Mr.
And then we
Bhadoria.
helped the victims of the riot.
Let me
And
bring
you
in
see,
Mr.
In the
Bhadoria.
history of the country, you will never find that, you know.
Mr. Bhadoria.
Instead of appreciating that, you are always talking against the Chief Minister,
I'm
which
sorry,
is very
sir.
sad.
There is a blatant tokenism that is going on, and the tokenism.
No, my friend.
The tokenism
when Durga
of
Shakti Nagpal was sacked, you know,
Azamgarh is a very apparent tokenism. It is to make up for all your follies. There is no escaping that. Mr. Bhadoria, respond to Mr. Qadir.
Now, Rahul, tell me how do you want to, how will Netaji, how will we make up for the follies? Please tell me, answer the question, Rahul, yourself, you know. Before bringing Mr. Bhadoria, if you can answer that, please. That's an allegation, please, you know.
And it's
on a leader which is the most secular leader in the country.
Let Mr. Bhadoria speak.
Now?
Yes, please.
Rahul, can you answer the question, please?
1 minute. Let Mr. Bhadoria speak.
You see, as far as the
Rahul, if you could answer the question, please, you know.
is concerned, it stands exposed before the people. It stands exposed before the people. Over 100 communal riots, over 100,000 people rendered homeless, thousands of children dying, women dying, and on the other hand, bringing in Mr. Modi is a direct, as I had said it earlier, this is a direct design for confrontation and polarization. And one more thing I would like to say and end my reply, that this entire debate with a sample of 500 people cannot be representative of the people of UP. And by presenting that Mr. Modi is a popular face, I think we are going into a wrong conclusion, because you yourself say there is a lot of contradiction in this whole analysis.
I don't say that.
You say that 48% people say that Modi is good, 42% say no. So there is a complete polarization.
Well,
that is what I'm trying to say, that he is here to polarize the people of UP, and it will have a very serious repercussions on the harmony
go to the
which
professor.
Yeah, well, just the way, sir,
in the
sir,
Ganga
just the way,
Jamuna Tehzeeb which is there.
sir, just the way you have an opinion, these 510 people have an opinion, which we have tabulated here. Well, just a minute, Mr. Chaudhary. But I think, you know, the BSP has more to worry. The BSP has more to worry as far as our data is concerned.
Why is
if
that?
you look at this, well, of those who agree, 65% Dalits say that yes, Mayawati and Mulayam Singh have been dwarfed. On the other hand, amongst Muslims, 58% disagree, which is the core vote bank of the SP, other than Yadavs.
Well, that's interesting,
So,
Professor.
so a lot of Dalits saying that Mayawati has been dwarfed, agreeing to that is something that should worry the BSP.
Okay,
You know,
Professor,
Rahul,
yes.
I would just like to say that I think the regional leaders understand that the people in their states recognize that the fact that prosperity is all India. So most major regional leaders are now trying to see that they will emerge as the prime ministerial candidate. Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav definitely wants to be prime minister. I'm sure Madam Mayawati would not refuse if she were offered the prime ministership. And then they are quite aware of the importance of having an all India image and all India support. And I think in that respect, Mr. Modi, who's also chief minister, who till now has been a regional leader, has overtaken them very, very far, and that is why I think these people are very upset about it.
And also Modi is a national party, it's a national election, and people tend to vote for national leaders, especially now when people are fed up of hung parliaments, hung coalition. I think the wave is through giving a proper mandate to one person.
Well, the one conclusion that one could reach from this particular survey is that the voters are wary of individuals who suddenly decide to change the slogan. If it's development and they vote for that particular leader on that particular card, they don't like that person to change trajectory. Many people in this election survey feel that by Mr. Modi contesting from Varanasi, he could have contested from everywhere else or anywhere else in Uttar Pradesh, but the Varanasi decision is one which is aimed at enforcing a different dynamic upon this electoral outcome, and that goes back to identity. We're leaving it at that on Poll Pulse. Tomorrow, we're coming back in another edition. Don't go away. Stay with us.